Welcome students. Let's continue our chapter first of geography, that is representation of geographical features. Students, in our previous video we discussed some topics like maps, topographical survey maps, use of colors on topo sheets, conventional signs and symbols, and grid reference. Let's have a quick recall of these points before starting our new topics. So, maps, what are these? It's a representation of any area of the earth on a flat surface. There are types of maps like physical, political, thematic. Yes? Then was your topographical survey maps. Topographical survey maps, commonly known as topo sheets. They are large scale maps which show both natural and man-made features. You very well know that what are natural and man-made features. Yes? Natural features are like your mountains, rivers, valleys, plateaus, etc. And man-made features are like towns, buildings, roads, bridges, canals, etc. Okay. And also these topo sheets are used for various purposes like in military purpose, then useful for engineers, surveyors, tourists. Okay. Then was your conventional, then was use of colors on topo sheets. Yes students, all the geographical features on topographical maps are shown in color which have its own significance and that are universally accepted. Okay. Then conventional signs and symbols. Because of limited space in map, it is impossible to show the actual size and shape of different features. So that's why they are shown with the help of various agreed symbols. And these agreed symbols are conventional signs and symbols which are universally accepted language that can be understood by all. Then a last point which we covered was grid reference. What is this? The network of vertical and horizontal lines or the eastings and northings is called the grid. It can also be identified as grid reference. Okay. So these were the topics which we covered in our previous video. Let's begin our new topics of this chapter. So our new topics will be scale, types of scale, measuring distance on map. So let's know what is scale. You might be thinking that it's that scale which you are daily carrying with your with yourself in your pencil box, but that is not. A scale in geography here, it means that a scale is a measuring line which shows relation of the distance between two places on a map to their actual distance on the land. Yes, means that scale is the ratio between length measured on a map and the corresponding distance on the ground. For example, if we say that the scale of the map is 1 centimeter to 1 kilometer, so it means that 1 centimeter on the map is representing 1 kilometer on the ground. Okay, scale allows us to measure distance, area, and also to compare sizes. Now students, there are large scale maps and also small scale maps. So what are these large scale maps and small scale maps? Large scale maps are those maps which show a smaller area in greater detail. And small scale maps are those maps which show a larger area in less detail and space. Okay, means large scale maps, large amount of detail which can be shown on small area, whereas small scale map means small amount of detail and can show a large area. This small scale map, it includes your wall maps or atlas maps. They show important features like mountains, plateaus, continents and countries, which can be shown in less detail and space. Whereas your large scale maps, they include guide maps or topographic maps. And here in this scale, details of cities, towns and villages are shown. So very simple, your large scale maps depict the geographical features of small area in detail, whereas small scale map show only the important features of a large area. Okay, now there are types of scale which are used to measure distances. Yes, so there are three types of scales through which distance can be measured. So your first is stated scale, or can be said verbal scale. Then ratio scale means representative fraction. Third is graphic scale or linear scale. So come to verbal scale first. In this method, the scale is simply expressed in words. Example, if we say 1 centimeter on the map represents 50 kilometers on the ground. Means here in verbal scale, words are used instead of numbers to express the scale. This method is not very popular because it does not give the accurate measurement. Then comes a representative fraction or RF. The numerical fraction method is also called representative fraction. This method shows the ratio between the distance on the map to the distance on the ground. Means it is the map distance to the ground distance. So if we say that, if we write RF representative fraction is equal to 1:10,000, then what it would mean? It would mean that 1 centimeter on the map represents 10,000 centimeter on the ground. The important thing here is this: to find the representative fraction, we show the map distance and the ground distance in the same units. This reading is universally accepted and more accurate as compared to verbal scale. This scale can be used by any country in the world according to that country's accepted unit of measurement. Okay. Then comes your linear scale or graphic scale. This scale represents the relation between the distance on the map and the distance on the ground. Same as each scale they show. They show the distance on the map and distance on the ground. So it is drawn according to the statement in such a way that the distance can be calculated most accurately on the map. We can say that it is the most accurate methods of reading. In this, what happens? A line scale, it uses a line drawn on a map, see here, which is then divided into units such as kilometers. Then these each unit being representative of a distance in the real world. So this is the most accurate methods which is used to measure distance. Now Measuring distance on the map. How to measure distance on the map? We discussed about scales, but how to measure distance on the map? You know that distance is the space between the 2 points. It can be short distance or long distance. Okay, so in India we use the metric system. Distance is measured in kilometers, meters or centimeters. Yes, and these distance, they can also be like straight line distance or can be curved distance, any type of distance. So let's know how to measure a straight line. This straight line can be measured directly either by using the scale or with the help of a divider. So with the scale you can directly measure, and with the divider what you have to do is you have to put the two legs of the divider on the 2 points, and then these two legs are placed on the linear scale from where we can calculate a distance. Okay, then comes the thing that how to measure a curved distance. So a curved distance can be measured with the help of a paper strip or with the help of a thread. So how to measure a curved distance with the help of a paper strip? For this, what we have to do is, first, see here in this first figure, the topmost figure, which is a curved figure colored in red, we have to divide the curved distance into various straight line segments. Okay, then we have to take a strip of paper and put its edge at the starting point and mark on the paper. See, like in the second figure, it is done. Then mark each location on the strip of paper until the whole length of the curved route is marked. See, in the third figure. Then after all this, one thing students, what does this whole length of the curved means? Means those various straight line segments which we have divided is your length of the curved road. So after each location is marked, we have to place this strip of paper on the linear scale and we can calculate the distance. So this was the method of paper strip. Now method of using thread. How we can calculate the distance with the help of a thread? Simply we have to take a thread, a piece of thread, and put a knot at one of its end. Then place this knotted end at the starting point and move along the curve. Mark the end point with an ink dot on the thread. Okay, and stretch the thread along the linear scale till the marked end, and then calculate the distance. Means after we have put our thread along the curve, whatever the curve distance is, we have to place it along with the linear scale and calculate the distance. Okay, so these were all topics of this chapter which we have covered, and in this way we have finished our chapter. So the topics which we discussed today was scale, types of scale, and measuring distance on map. So all the points are now covered and your chapter is finished. So students, I hope you would have understood all the points. All the points I think are clear to you now. Once you go the PDF of the chapter which is downloaded on the school portal, and then do the assignment which I'm providing with this video. Okay students, thank you.